Yo, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video with your host Kenkukun, and today we got another Destiny 2 Trials training video. Widow's Court is the map. It comes around once a year. I looked through my videos. I didn't see that I made a video on this time, so some general tips to watch out for. With that being said, we are going to cover those tips now. So, first things first, let me go ahead and launch this up in here. Now, this is a big open map, and with most open maps, a lot of people have a tough time on them because, well, they're not good at not being shot from a direction they're not looking, all right? So you gotta, this is where a lot of communication is gonna come into play, and awareness is gonna come into play, right? So, everything that you've learned if you're a longtime viewer of the channel or you've watched a lot of my live streams or both, you're gonna have a leg up on a lot of people out there. If this is the first video you've ever watched, and you kind of do bad with trials, well, you're going to have a tough time. With that being said, there is some choppiness in the video. I don't know. I think it's because I updated OBS recently. So if you notice any choppiness, I apologize. There's nothing I can really do about it until I roll back OBS, which probably won't be until the end of this weekend. Now that I've noticed it, I'm going to uninstall and reinstall OBS. Or roll it back, which I don't want to do because then I have to reset everything in here, all my scenes and stuff, and I always hate doing that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in here. Snipers. All right, I'm talking to you first. And scout rifle users. All right. If you're challenging from here, do you see cover? This is cover. This is not cover. This is not cover. This is not cover. This, standing here, this isn't cover. None of this is cover. Get to cover. Like, I can't even smile and say, guys, yo, do your best. It's like, no, don't be an idiot. Play by cover. Number one, all right? You die in the open and we don't have a Titan shield or an ice wall or something like that. What chance do we have to revive you? We have to kill someone, or we have to be lucky that they're not paying attention and revive you. Don't make it harder on the rest of your team. That goes for anybody on the team. I don't care if you're helping someone. I don't care if you're being helped. 3 stacked, no stacked, 1 stacked. Don't make it harder on your team. There's no reason to. Use cover. Number 2, when you do peek from cover, guess what? You're looking at 3 people, all right? So you're probably going to get team shot. Now, this sounds very daunting for long-range players. I'm not telling you not to play long-range. I'm telling you just be aware of what's going to come. So, with that being said, well, Ken, all right, make us understand how you would play long-range on Widow's Court. All right, I'm going to be very frank with you then. You have to be on time. You have to come out of the spawn immediately and get to the spot first. That's how you get a leg up on people with range, right? Now they're walking into your sights, not the other way around, all right? And challenge from unconventional angles. You have an angle scout rifle, sniper rifle, right back here, right? Force them into 1v1s. 3 people could potentially, look at you from that angle, but look at how much space they have. They have very little space. If you come down to this end, right, there's very little space, right? So that they're not going to be like 3 in the doorway, right? They're going to have to be like 1 behind, right, crouched in a single file line. And a lot of times people aren't going to do that. So force them into the one-on-one engagements, right? Now, I know I said this is not cover, but you come back a little bit and you slowly peek out if you want to take, and this is the more obvious spot to stand, right? Your head level, everyone's looking for this angle of a snipe, right? And if you jump up on this wall, they're just going to adjust their scopes and pull the trigger. You jump up on this, they're going to adjust their scopes and pull the trigger. You walk back here, guess what? Why? Because while they're looking for the guy here, it's a simple task to just take their reticle and go, oh, he's on the wall. Oh, he's on the little thingy. Oh, he's on the spider tank. All they have to do is make slight adjustments, right? If, you come from the side. So if you come from, like, the solid ground, right, you're coming from the most obvious angle possible. With that being said, You want to slowly strafe out, right? Pull them into the one. You don't have to go looking for the kill. You don't have to, I don't see anyone, I don't see anyone. And then you die because you're looking for the engagement, right? Sometimes a little bit of patience will go a long way. If you wait, they will come to you. Because there are a lot more people out there that don't want to sit here and play a minute and a half each round and turn it into a 10-minute game. Oh, I don't want to sit here and wait. I want to end it now. And that's when you kill them because they don't want to be patient. They would rather reset the card and waste all that time beforehand versus waiting 10 minutes. So it's not, there's going to be a lot of teams that will not wait those 10 minutes. So while you're waiting, they're pushing, they're doing the job for you. All right. That's number one. That's going to be for the range. So you can challenge from multiple angles. You can challenge from up here. You can, challenge from up here, from back here, right? So you can literally have 3 people, challenging one spot at the same time. All right. Now, if you're quick, you can do the strafe. If you're confident in your shot, your snipe, or whatever, you can strafe out and look for that first kill, right? I usually bring a Jade Rabbit on this map. I don't know exactly what I'm going to fall onto this weekend for weapons, but Jade Rabbit will be in my inventory because when push comes to shove, I'm going to pull out that 3-tapping beast and start rocking it, all right? So this is probably in my opinion, this is the hottest lane that's challenged the most, is this lane right here. Now, another number one lane, right, that you could argue for is here. And that's for people that like to snipe. They're very good at sniping, and they're going to snipe them out of the spawn from either side. I wouldn't recommend this to people, even the best of people, because if they do die, it's just tough for us to revive them. However, this is a lane you need to be aware of. If you're going to move down the middle lane right away, you're exposed right here. You could die from here all the way up to cover, right? If you're coming from the other direction and you're late coming out of the spawn and you jump up, and I know I'm going all over the place on the map, if you jump up from the spawn like this, if you're late, you're probably going to die, all right? Now, there are going to be some scenarios where a Warlock is going to blink up on the truck, or some Stompy's Hunter that's faster than you is going to get up there, and as you're making your way through here, you're going to die. So it's very important when you come out of the spawn, 2 things, right? Again, if something comes up, it's out of your control, something at the house, an emergency, family matter, whatever, it's destiny, it's not a big deal. But for those that want to make it to the lighthouse and they have nothing else that is pulling their attention in the way, so it's their undivided attention is to Destiny and the game, right? Come out of the spawn on time and do your best don't get clipped on the truck and then slowly float over. You're asking to get shot, right? Scout rifles have enough time to shoot you then. So be careful. Make sure your footing is, clear, and don't jump any higher than you need to, because this piece of wall is going to give you some cover as you move forward, right? As you come up here, be ready, because when you come out of that spawn, you come here, they're going to be looking for you. Now, with that being said, there are going to be good teams and aggressive teams that are going to utilize all of the map. So you need to be, this is where communication is going to be a big part of the matches. You're going to want to communicate with your team. You're going to want to call out as much as you can, as fast as you can when it comes to enemies. If I see nobody here, 0 people, right? I'm going to come out of my scope or whatever I'm doing. I'm going to walk forward and I'm going to let the radar do my reading, right? And I'm going to say, hey, there's no one on the side of the map. So if I have a teammate standing back here, I don't want him to get sniped from over there. So a call out that I would guess to make would be, hey, I think they're rotating to the right, or they're in the spawn, right? Or they're holding back somewhere. So you guys can quickly rotate and set up for that. All right, so now if you think they're all coming to the right, or you can confirm they are, you can have someone up here. Boom. They can use this for cover, right? And then they can peek left and right of it. So I can peek to the right, right? And if an enemy's over here, he can't shoot me because I'm crouching. So I can peek to the right and get a team shot here. You can have someone a little bit closer. Boom, right? He can shoot here. He can take cover from that. Peek, shoot here. And then you can have just someone kind of right here with the scout rifle, pulse rifle, sniper, bow, something like that. And they're waiting for this dude to overextend, and then he's going to shoot him. And they get to, they can freely move between targets. They can move down here and see if they get something, right? Or they can, maybe peek over here for a moment and see if something's trying to hide, right? And shoot them. again within their relative square of the map. So really aggressive good teams are going to be looking to try and pinch you as often as possible. If they can't straight up win the gunfight, right? Or if if you're holding your ground and they can't make any leeway, they will send someone else on the flank. So that's where you have to be, hey, where'd the other guy go? Hey, I only see two. Where's the third? The third's probably ready to shoot you in the back somewhere, all right? There's a lot of head glitches on this map too for long range. So as you play and I don't have time to cover all of them, but as you play and you get killed from these unconventional angles, pay attention and remember them. It's going to happen to you again from another team. Like a whole different team's going to do this to you, right? So keep that in mind. This is a powerful lane to hold. If you send two people off to the left, right out the spawn. So I'm going to cover a couple of things you can do out of the spawn, and you can play close range, all right? So if you're bad with long range or you want to play close range, I will explain that in a moment, but let me cover these couple of ways you can come out of the spawn real quick. So there are 3 directions you can choose from coming out of the spawn. 3 options. Option number 1 is probably the go-to option. You come up over here. Now, if you send 2 people up over here with their long range to shoot, and you have one person hang back, it's not a bad thing to have one person hang back, and they just sit back with a scout, right? Or a bow or something, something with some range, and they're looking. All they're doing is waiting to see if enemies run through there or enemies come through here. But they're already in position if the enemies do happen to advance. And there has been many times where I've gotten picks that people cut the corner because they think everyone's over there and there's a person already waiting, and it's just 1, 2, 3 tap to the head and I move about my day. And then after a moment when they realize, well, there's nothing here, and their teammates are already shooting stuff by the time they move, then it's safe to say, all right, the enemies are all over here. Let me rotate around. So you can come up to this side of the map and play long range. Some enemies can come all the way around from your left through the broken building from the church. So you got to keep that in mind. But this is a great angle if you want to play a closer range, hand cannon, shoddy, SMG, even a pulse, I would say. Crimson has pretty long ranges, so it can be pretty versatile at any range. Just keep in mind, you're on the radar as you come up these stairs, so it's not going to be hard for them to just turn and throw a grenade, or more than one. They could lock down that lane, right, with a grenade, ice wall, you name it, turret, and then they can all like push over here. And if you're too far forward and you react too slow, you're going to die. And what do I mean by reacting too slow? You sit here, right, and you're like, all right, I'm slowly moving. You're slowly moving forward, but these guys could be 1, 2, 3, and they're like, oh, there's someone on the flank. Throw the grenade, turn around, Ape City, baby. Now you're dead. So that is option number 1. You can come play over on the left side. Now, I wouldn't recommend playing the mid lane. You can open up from the mid lane. If you're going to go down the mid lane, I would recommend you're probably rotating the map. So just rotate the map. Come down to the truck, have someone cut up in here, have someone play by the truck, take the high ground, start shooting down, and try to catch some team angles. I wouldn't recommend anyone really just playing the middle of the map, but your option to challenge could be from the middle of the map. Long range snipers from here. If you're quick enough, you can get as close up to here to have a more accurate shot. And then the third option from this spawn is to the right. Now, if you're moving to the right, once again, unless the enemy team meets you, you probably have free roam here, which means you're going to be uncontested and just move around the map freely. And you might even catch people looking at the top of the stairs towards A, and you're just going to shoot them for free. Why? Because, well, they're there and they're not looking for you. So that is another option. Now, you could get met. Like, the enemy team could decide this is where they want to go, or you're just trying to meet them. Use these roadblocks right here, right? Use them for cover. Boom. You have limited sight here, but it is an option. Just be careful. If all of you are over here, this is an easier lane for people to pinch you in because it's a much narrower wall for them to travel. So 3 people could be over here, right? And now one guy quickly shifts over here, and you don't notice it in time, and they're shooting you from the side, and that's it. Now you take cover and you turn to the left, and then the other people, start getting aggressive, right? So be careful in that lane. at that spot specifically, it's a very quick, it's a very short time it takes to really get a pinch on you, right, and catch you from a flank. From the other side of the map, it's the same thing. You have 3 different angles to choose from, and all of them usually give you the same amount of options, right? You can spawn up and go to the right. Remember, try not to get caught on anything like I just did. You can have someone, challenge stairs from here. You can have someone challenge from broken wall. You can have someone challenge from here. You can have someone all the way over here and challenge. This is the other lane where people could challenge you and quickly get an angle on you without you paying attention. You can have someone challenge from here, and this is where you're going to want a lot of team communication. Hey, if you say, hey, there's someone coming from the far right, and you got a teammate just standing right here looking at the stairs, hey, dummy, you're gonna die. Like, you need to move, right? They made that call out. You need to get in cover, and you either need to be looking to team shot this way with cover from there, or you need to take cover and, now you're looking up at the top of the... You're still watching the top of the stairs without being shot from the right. And whoever called out the right side, it's like, oh, if I was challenging the right side, I wouldn't do it... I don't think I would challenge from here because that pillar, they could stand behind that pillar and shoot towards my teammates if my teammates aren't paying attention, right? They could stand like right here and shoot there. I would actually move off of this angle. I would move to this little archway here. And this gives me a little bit more freedom. And, I can cut back over here and cut in through the church. Another thing to say, when you're fighting on these maps and you think the enemy's overwhelming you, do not be afraid to call out that, hey guys, let's fall back. Let's fall back and rotate somewhere else, right? So fall back through the map and start rotating around. And give up the area you were fighting in. Again, there's a lot of freedom on this map. It's the most balanced map because it allows multiple playstyles to be played through. Long range and close range. Every weapon can be viable on this map the way it's set up. All right? So keep that in mind. All right, now you can, once again, come out of the spawn, come straight up through the middle. Wouldn't recommend it. And at this point in time, like you're kind of standing here, and I guess you're fighting around the stairs. You could push through the middle, but from either side, if you're not rotating the map, I wouldn't get caught in the middle of the road because there's high ground on either side. So it's easy for them to have, better head glitches than you. And then you have the left. Now you can have someone, if you come out of the spawn and you want to go left, your whole team can go behind the big building, sniper tower. You can have someone go through it. I would normally send someone through this, right? And they can get up to here. They don't even have to look at the lane, and the radar is going to pick enemies up if they're in the mid lane, right? But you can have someone here watching, waiting for people to come around the side as your team rotates, right? And now, you can challenge across the way. You do have to be careful. There's a lot of angle, like that wall right there. I love that part of the map. It's probably the best part of the map. That wall specifically has a lot of angles to look at. So a good scout can see you coming through here. A good sniper can, let's say a good sniper because it only takes a bullet. A good sniper can see you from here, right? They can see you. They see you. They see you. They can see you from, this angle, right? Like there's a lot they can see you from. So you got to be careful. If whoever gets that spawn and they want to play passive and the enemy team wants to be aggressive, that wall has enormous value, right? Enormous. Not only do they have the potential to shoot you, they just call you out, right? So keep that in mind. And those are your options for moving. Now you can fight in these buildings, right? If you want to fight in these buildings. I wouldn't recommend it because then you allow yourself to get just trapped in the building. But if you have no other options and you're having a tough time in the open area, pick a building. I would pick, that's probably the main building. I would pick that building over this building. And I'd, have each person try and hold a door and do the best you can. I can't cover every scenario that could happen on this map, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up here in just a moment. So once again, snipers, if you're having a tough time sniping, put on a scout rifle. Take the sniper off for the game, right? Use it on a different team. Whatever is happening, right? And it could be a multitude of things. To play against snipers, I got two things, and then we're gonna wrap it up here. To play against snipers, number one, a sniper is there's the only way a sniper is good is if the opportunity to get the headshot is presented. That's when you have a good sniper on the enemy team. Which means if you don't look at them, if you don't give them their angles, right? If you don't challenge them, then they won't snipe you because they can't. They could still be a good sniper, but it's not a good sniper that's costing you lives and taking rounds, right? So if you deny them the headshot or the shot in general, then they're not as useful as a sniper. They could still be a good sniper or a great sniper, but they're not as useful as a sniper. A great sniper is going to find the angle. They're not going to sit back and wait for you to walk in front of them. They're going to find an angle. Number two, I say this with all the love in the world, all right? At least all the love I can muster. Let's say there's a sniper up there, all right? And someone says, hey, someone's going to the far right, and you come over here, and you're like, okay, and you walk through this door, right? So the sniper knows you're coming over here, and you go right here, right? And you shoot a guy with a pistol. This is just an example. It can happen many ways. And the sniper shoots you from up here, all right? I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everyone. It's like, hey, don't challenge the sniper, all right? Don't challenge the snipe lane. I wasn't challenging the snipe lane, right? That's example number one. Example number two is you're just kind of, you run through, right? Even, let's say you were running through and you come up along the wall and you're like this. You're using this for cover, right, to get close, and then you run across the door and they snipe you in the head. Hey, don't challenge that sniper. I wasn't challenging the sniper. The mama bear in the woods with her two cubs does not care whether you've seen those cubs or not and knew they were there or not. You have challenged her territory. She's going to attack. All right? The sniper doesn't care whether you're looking at him or not, whether you know he's there or not. You have now challenged his territory. He's going to take the shot. And if he shoots you in the head repeatedly, all right, because you continuously walk through their line of sight, which is their territory, at that moment, whatever their line of sight is their territory. You are effectively challenging their lane, all right? You're challenging their lane. So please keep that in mind. So when you notice, this is important. This is why it's important to notice patterns. When you notice an enemy go to the same spot every round with the same weapon, and it's the one that's tearing you or your team up, you got, guys, don't give them that lane. Like, don't give them the opportunity. We got to go. You want to go to the right side? You go through the church, or better yet, yeah, you can. Yeah, if you can get to here and not be shot from like this spot, because you should have time to be able to jump up here. You can come right through this door, and now you can go to the right side. You can go behind the building and go to the right side. But you jumping up to the top, and then like even right here, I could be seen from right there. I've been killed from that angle, right? I've been killed from that angle. I've been killed from that angle from back here. If I come up late, and especially this angle. Oh boy, I'd love to get a snipe on that guy. So again, be careful. Just because you're not looking at them doesn't mean you haven't given them the opportunity. And yeah, you're challenging the zone whether you're looking at it or not. And that's what a lot of people have a tough time with. They have a tough time holding a location and being out of cover. That's why I use this as an example. If someone's coming to the right, you now need to either take cover and look right, or take cover from the right to look left. You can't continue standing up like this. Your head is exposed from both angles. I can be shot from multiple angles, and it's a contradictory thing to say. I can be shot from way over there, but I'm looking up here. I get it. That's why it's important to, at the beginning of the video, remember pay attention to where the enemies are and try to have an accurate call out on how many are where. Good luck. I'll see you guys at the lighthouse. It shouldn't be that bad. Player pools increase, a lot of options, but there are going to be people that have tough time. So if you have a tough time and you watch this video and you try to implement these, these plays and these plans, and they're still not quite working for you, Link in the description below. I'm live on Twitch right now. I'll be here most of the weekend. I'll be here all weekend, every single day, for about 8 to 10 hours a day, depending on how much fun I have on this map. It's my favorite map. I'll see you there. Good luck.